Hey everyone, it's Keith. Welcome back to Throwback Movie Mondays. Today we're looking at the 1982 B-movie Swamp Thing. Oh, by the way, last week I said that Superman 2 came out in 82, which is wrong. It came out in 1980. I guess I just had the number 2 on the brain, so sorry about that. Anyway, Swamp Thing is written and directed by Wes Craven and stars Ray Weiss, Adrienne Barbeau, and Dick Durock. After his laboratory is attacked by a paramilitary group, scientist Alec Holland is transformed into the plant-human hybrid creature, the Swamp Thing, and must prevent his research from falling into the wrong hands. Covering Swamp Thing begins our look at a forgotten era of comic book movies. Surprisingly, Superman the movie didn't cause much of a boom in comic book adaptations, like we'd see after X-Men in 2000. The difference, of course, being that X-Men was followed up by Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films and successful sequels of its own, and Superman the movie was followed up by Superman 2, and then, well, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is definitely a step back as far as production values are concerned. It's very low budget, almost TV movie-esque, but luckily it has Wes Craven at its helm. Craven had made a handful of successful horror films in the 1970s, most notably The Hills Have Eyes. All he'd ever really known at this point was low-budget filmmaking, so he was well suited for the job. The costume for Swamp Thing himself is indicative of the film's budget. It's clearly a guy in a rubber suit, but it's not a bad-looking rubber suit, and actor Dick Durock sells it well. However, even though the suit for Swamp Thing is perfectly passable, the same cannot be said for that of the villain, Arcane, after he is mutated near the end of the movie. Fuck. Swamp Thing is a pretty simple movie, made all the better by its ambitious filmmaker. Like a lot of comic book adaptations of its time, it's pretty forgettable, but you could also do a lot worse, as we'll see in the coming weeks. Swamp Thing gets a 5 out of 10. Weirdly enough, Swamp Thing is one of the most adapted comic book properties. This film was followed up with a sequel in 1989, a TV show, a short-lived cartoon, and it's now being adapted once again for the DC Universe streaming service. It's kind of strange, right? Given how many more well-known properties have never had a single adaptation. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you would like. As always, there are links to the other videos in the Throwback Movie Monday series in the description. I'll see you back here next week for Superman 3. It's gonna be rough. Until then, have a good week. Bye.